Welcome back to our Online Isolation 3 podcast here with Dazed, Aaron, and Dot. And like always, ups and downs for y'all as we head into our final six.
I mean, the up is pretty obvious, right? I mean, Jamil, I've got to give it to Jamil. He's back in the game. He survived a possible eviction, elimination, whatever. Down, giving it to both Meg and Little Tony. I realized in this episode that those two were not playing Online Isolation. They were playing survival. And I don't think it bodes well for them in this game. So I'm gonna give them both a down this episode.
Why do you think they're playing survival?
I've tried to think about Isolation as a strategy game, but when it boils down to it, it really just is how good is your social ability. No matter, especially this season, the twists that you've thrown in there make it really difficult to try to navigate the ranking system. So you have to fall back on what's going to get you to the end of the game, which is your social ability. Both Meg and Anthony are thinking about who can they take to the end so that they can win. But there's not really, I don't know. I'm just going with those two. I haven't thought it all the way through. I just feel like they're playing Survivor instead of Isolation, thinking more strategically than social, and I'm starting to see it kind of backfire on
them. I'd have to agree. I think Jamil is kind of up for me. He was in a good spot to be able to spy on some of the conversations before then entering them. So he got to hear a little bit of what everyone was thinking. And he played it smart. He did what Jed should have done. He chose to come back as a ghost. It ended up working out well, didn't backfire on him. But at the same time, too, I also want to kind of give an up to Jed simply just because of him kind of standing his ground and being a little more vocal about, his own opinion and things like that. I hadn't seen that at all during the game. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I know he's not in a spot to really get back in. I still thought that was something nice that I had wanted to see from him. For down, to be quite honest, I don't even really know. I'd say maybe Meg, maybe Anthony, maybe honestly even Diani, just because she is still playing that kind of really chill card. I feel like at this point in the game, she should probably start to strategize a little more. And kind of like what Liana had kind of said, even in one of the conversations, she's not very close with Diani. If it came down to it, she'd vote Diani out. I feel like it really kind of depends on who is going to be up in the, the power player positions. So I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's a ton. Well, there's strategy, but not quite. It's not really connecting. So I don't really know who quite is going down. But for me, ups was Jamel and Jed.
Interesting. I'm actually going to give my down to Jed for the same situation that you're speaking of. He did fight for his spot to try to get back into the game. That was his last chance, right? That was his only opportunity to get in, and I just wasn't feeling it, man. I wanted some heart and some passion and some fire, and I was like, all right, this is it. He's about to bring it. He's about to convince everybody why he should go back into the game, and it was more like a chill, slow conversation like this, Which I know that's Jed. That's Jed. I get it, but he really needed that to fight for that spot.
He's got a high IQ, not a high EQ, so you're not going to see the emotions as much as you would want to see them.
Oh man, we'll get there. We're going to get to the whole conversation. It's just crazy. And I'm actually going to give my up to Liana. I think that she's doing really well in the game. At this point, you have to look at who's in the afterlife, and she still hasn't really made any enemies. Even like this whole Anthony her going back and forth, for whatever reason, like she's playing nice with him, and she's kind of. I mean, I think he sees her as an ally now, which I don't think Anthony really feels like he has any other allies in the game. So I think big props to her to be able to make a friend out of somebody who, like, they should kind of be going at each other's throats right now.
Well, we touched on it a little bit with these ups and downs, but how did you all feel overall with Jamil's approach back into the game?
I mean, Jamil's Jamil, right? I don't know how to explain him. I mean, he's not coming back overly aggressive, which I feel, at least I would expect from a lot of people coming back from the afterlife, coming back with a vengeance. So he's kind of toning that down, although we know he has the ability to just be angry. But he's playing it well. I think he did have a bit of a misstep when he was talking with the whole vote with Deani and Meg, but I'll get to that when we get there.
Well, I feel like he came in with a bang, when he hit that super bass low note.
He did.
Selling his soul. Man, this dude's crazy. I love Jamil. Yeah, I mean, I think he's doing okay so far. I'm glad that the ghost was able to save him. I'm curious about what he's gonna do with that information that he heard with Meg and Deani about voting out people as soon as they come in. I expected him to confront them right off the bat, and I don't know if it was strategy for him to kind of play cool on that or what. I'm curious. I'm curious to see.
What do y'all think of Meg and Deani's plan to vote the people that come back, and should they keep trying to hammer that?
I feel like Deani is more in on that than Meg. I feel like at one point Meg was kind of saying that she's honestly willing to, switch teams at any point, to keep herself in the game. I feel like, that conversation she had with Deani was more or less just like something to say at that point in time. I feel like when it comes down to it, it's not quite going to matter if she's going to be voting someone back that's new or someone that she had previously played with a lot. So I don't know. I feel like they're going good so far. But again, I don't know. I feel like Jamil has an opportunity to kind of weasel his way into these groups with the information that he has, and he has the opportunity to kind of create some form of chaos. He's not going to be like Patty and do a whole big thing. So yeah, I don't know. I can see them going and playing to a certain extent. I think when it comes down to it, Meg definitely has more of the kind of survival instinct, and that'll probably kick in at some point.
When are these folks gonna realize that they shouldn't have strategy talks until the end of the chat? I mean, you have to think that somebody is probably watching in on your conversations at the beginning. You need to wait to see if anybody's actually coming back before you start.
That's a good point.
That's tough. Yeah. People hear stuff. But yeah, that strategy, I've actually been going back and forth on, should they be trying to take out people who are more of a threat, who have been in the game for a while, or should they just take out the easy target, which is the person that just came in from the afterlife? And I've decided that I do think it's a good idea. I mean, Shelby kind of laid the foundation for that being a really dangerous spot in the game. He's spending a lot of time in the afterlife and making those connections. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to decide who wins this game again this season. So those people that are dangerous, those people that are coming back are dangerous. And yeah, I think it actually is a good idea to just to lock them out. What do y'all think?
I mean, it makes sense. It's a fair point. It makes sense.
I agree. I just don't know how you go about it. And this is something that I've struggled with isolation, just trying to formulate a strategy. And I mean, this is why I don't play it. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think it's tougher. I hear you. I think it's tougher to make strategy in this game, but I still think it works. So think has to be done.
Now, Dot, your old duo is starting to sound a little bit like you. Meg wants to go to the end with Anthony because she thinks she could be Anthony. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, hey, be weary. Like that's the thing. And I was thinking that's the biggest thing I was thinking in this conversation with Leanna was that he was like kind of playing this like defeatist mindset. Like, oh well, we could set somebody up, but I wouldn't want to do some kind of sneaky gameplay, like he's kind of like trying to pretend like he's not as savage as he is. And it makes people underestimate him. Like, I think Leanna's kind of feeling sorry for him a little bit. And like, she shouldn't. And Meg shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't underestimate him because that's his gameplay, So she should be wary. They should all be wary.
He's really good at talking himself out of things simply because he talks a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that could be a really tough spot if he got to the final. I have a feeling, there could be that chance. He just talks so much. He could say whatever he wants and people will kind of eventually start to believe him. But yeah, he's just an interesting kid. I'll just say that.
I mean, Meg is not wrong. Okay. I don't think she stands a chance against Leanna at the end. And this is that survival mindset. Like you want to go to the end unless you're Dot with somebody like Anthony, because you're probably going to win the game. But for me, it was how she went about like trying to put that target on Leanna. I mean, I was saying over and over, you can't say Leanna's name in the chat like the way she brought it up. Don't y'all think Leanna's the bigger threat here? Like, you can't be saying that in this chat because she's going to find out. And then, I mean, I'm just torn. Like, how do you go about getting your targets out of this game? Like, how does Meg go about getting Leanna out of the game without trying to convince people she's the bigger target? Because Leanna's social game is probably one of the best in here, and nobody's going to want to take her out. It's tough, man. They're playing a really hard game right now.
Just a follow-up question. Why do you think players are underestimated? What makes a player so underestimated like Anthony?
I mean,
we've seen it.
I think in Anthony's scenario, just like the entire package. He just like the skinny guy. He's young, talks a lot. He's like very playful. He talks about strategy a lot, but like he's just so whimsical about things. Like you just, especially when you're first meeting him, you wouldn't think somebody like that can win the game. So I think you just don't really worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Like you just don't worry about it.
No, but it's also he's consistent. He's like consistently on the bottom. People always say he's the target. We'll get him out next time. We'll get him out. He is still in this game. He has still found a way this entire time to dodge and avoid, all of the people that have tried to vote him out. I feel like he just, I don't know how he avoids it so well every single time. And I feel like people don't realize that he'll probably continue to do that. Everyone's always like, oh, our goal is Anthony. Our goal is Anthony. Something always happens and it's never Anthony. So he's probably going to, at least I'm assuming, continue to do that throughout the next few episodes.
I mean, he is by far the best liar and best ass kisser in this game and in survival. I mean, in my opinion, I don't see how he can keep playing this type of game if he comes back. I mean, who else saw how he played last time? Miguel. Who else was in that game?
Miguel and Nick.
Nick, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, everybody else is new to him. I mean, I think Miguel realized pretty quickly that Anthony had to go and he just couldn't pull it off. And then Nick's not going to take Anthony out. So, I mean, I guess because there's a bunch of people in this game who haven't seen him just lie his way to the end, that's how he's getting so far. I mean, at this point, you got to see it. Patty talked about body language, and just you can read it all over Anthony. I don't understand how people don't see this. He's got to go. But he's going to keep on skating to the end and pull it off once again.
I will say, yeah, he definitely has certain tells, but I want to give this kid some credit. Like he's a player, and like watching him this season, he's coming to play. Like he's made a lot of, like he's got a number of people out strategically. He made moves like to nominate himself to try to like get in with the team, which didn't really work, but it's still it's a big boy move. And now something I really appreciate in this episode, him deciding to tell Leanna that he has the monkey paw. Like he realizes like I don't have any friends in this game, and I have a piece of information, and I'm pretty much going to trade information for loyalty, which like both of them kind of traded back and forth with it. So like he knows what he's doing. Like he's making strategic plays to try to be in the right place. So I know he skates a little bit, and he's loose with information and he makes mistakes, but also like he's fucking playing.
I mean, he flips the switch so effortlessly.
Mhm.
Like it's like he has a list of things he can say, and if one doesn't work out, he immediately goes to the next one. I feel like that's what he did with Leanna, like trying to, it just, I don't know how he does it. I should be taking notes on him. I don't think I can pull it off. I'm not that, erratic. Just
I
he
think
stresses me out,
at the
man.
end of the day, it's also kind of hard not to love him,
Mhm.
Like you don't really hate him
Mm-mm.
at the end of the day. Like he doesn't allow you to do it.
He frustrates me because I know I couldn't pull that shit off.
Right. It's just him. It's just an Anthony thing. It's a gift of his or a skill. He's good,
And,
man.
and Meg is saying that she could be Anthony in the end. Some of you had said just a few minutes ago that maybe Anthony is the person you take to the end, but the afterlife ranked him the monkey spot. Why?
Mm.
I mean, he's always the monkey's butt.
Consistency, I guess.
He's trending.
I mean, if he keeps getting the monkey's paw, this is so much blood on his hands. I mean, your first thought is you have to take him to the end. I mean, he's kind of again lied.
But then
and
doesn't he
backstabbed.
also on the other side have the biggest resume because of that?
Is this game
Yes.
about the resume though? I mean, Shelby didn't have a resume.
That's
He
true.
was just super sociable.
But again, like he never wanted the monkey's paw, it was always decided for him. He had to make the best that he could with the
Well, the first
situation.
time he wanted it, but then after
Well,
that.
the first time, but every time
It's
after
sharp
he's
decline.
got it, yeah,
Yeah.
he's just been given it. So, at that point, it's not something that he has wanted to do. He's had to work with it the best he can. If it came down to it, he could always use that, like, hey, I didn't want this, this was put on me and I did what I thought was going to work best. And people might see like, hey, yeah, we did give this to him and this is what he did. And he didn't have a choice in the matter really. So that could kind of help him in the end, kind of, show people his kind of gameplay with something that he didn't choose. I don't know.
What happened to them planning on giving it to Jamil? I thought that was the plan in the afterlife. Like I was surprised when I had to rewind after seeing Anthony had it because I thought Jamil was supposed to get it.
I don't know what exactly happened. They just voted Anthony lower than they did Jamil. Or enough of them did.
They can't help it. They couldn't help it. They couldn't
Yeah.
help it. I will say, I think that Anthony is way more hated in this season than the Survivor season. So it does sound safer to take him to the final if you're like a Meg or a Leanna than it was for me to do it. That's what I think.
I think Leanna could be to Anthony what Fanguy was to Dot.
Yeah.
I think
She
Leanna
could.
could just
She could blow the whole
completely
thing up. Yeah.
demolish his game if she goes to the afterlife.
She could demolish anyone's game, honestly. Like we really got to see her fangs in the season, and I love it. I love it. But yeah, it could be a smart idea to take Anthony, but like I don't know. If it was me, I couldn't do it twice. Like I just fool me once. Yeah, you know how it goes. Can't let it happen.
What do you think of his newest nominations, Diani and Jamil, even though they didn't quite work out?
He's got that hard on for Jamil, man.
Yeah, he really trying to get Jamil out this game. He's trying so hard. Oh man, I don't blame him. I mean, they've had friendship for a while.
I think Deani was right. I mean, who
Yeah.
else does he nominate? He can't do Leanna again,
Yeah.
because then you've just made a massive target on yourself.
Yeah. And he can't do Meg because she's a threat, you know?
Yeah, you don't want to go after Meg. She'll take you
She's
down.
someone that you want on your side. So
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a good choice.
So what do you all think about Jamil and Meg and Deani being the power players? Jamil kind of going along with himself being voted out because he knows he has the ghost power.
I think he could have gone about it a different way.
Mhm.
I mean, it worked out for him in the long run, but I think he could have told them beforehand and built a massive amount of trust with
Mhm.
Meg and Deani. And it's like he wanted them to be faked out, and then I don't know. It kind of put me off. I think he could have played it differently.
Do you think it still might have built trust with Deani though?
I think it worked out how it shouldn't have. I mean, I would have took it as he was trying to, get one over on me, because they did.
But he essentially saved Deani too.
Yeah, but as I was watching the episode, it didn't register in my brain that Deani wouldn't go home if this worked out. Like I felt like if he used this power, then Deani would have went home, and I was completely wrong. I misunderstood the rules, but my paranoid ass would have been thinking that in that chat. So
yeah, I feel you on that. I do think it was a good move, but I feel you. I don't think it was smooth enough. I think that he could have gained some trust. He could have done a little bit better, like you said. The first thing that I was thinking whenever it happened was that it was this perfect opportunity to get like a butt ton of information, right? He had just heard them say that they were going to eliminate anybody who got into the game. And I would have tried to see if Deani was going to throw me under the bus, or like if Meg had to choose between me and Deani, what's she going to do? Like how close am I to these players? And then after getting that information, I feel like I would have played that card and said, well, I'll just vote for myself and save everybody because I want to be on good terms and I want to be closer to y'all than I am. Something around those lines,
yeah, I agree.
I feel like he could have got a little bit more out of it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It was smart, for him to have the votes put on him. But I think, again, he should have used that in a different way. He should have used that to his advantage. Could have, created some form of trust. Because I feel like now hearing that and seeing that Meg and Deani have another reason to kind of be suspicious of him. The fact that he pulled that kind of on them.
Right.
Right after the fact. He could have, right off the bat, kind of do what Anthony sometimes does and tries to be straightforward with people, and so I feel like he should have just done that. Probably would have helped him a lot more. So
I'm curious. Do y'all think that he should have just taken Deani out? I mean, she's a big threat to win this game. And the afterlife.
how do you convince Meg to vote for Deani though?
Yeah,
I don't think you do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it wasn't really it wasn't his choice like that. I don't know. You're right. I guess it wouldn't have worked anyways.
Well, let's get your all's thoughts on the awkward afterlife dynamics going on at the moment.
I didn't like that. I thought that conversation was so unnecessary. It was so uncomfortable. Like I felt like how Miguel felt, very awkward, and I wasn't even there. It was unnecessary. I didn't like it whatsoever. I have no other comment on that.
I think once again we see the duality that Patty is. Him apologizing to Miguel, props to him for that. There's nothing in it for Patty to apologize to Miguel like that. He can't win the game, so it's not ass kissing. So you have to believe it's genuine. But then to turn around and to go after Jed, Patty, I know you're gonna watch this and I'm confused once again, man. I love you. I'm confused by what you're doing. I don't know.
See, what I think is that I think that everybody just underestimates the man that is Patty. Okay, he wakes up while he's making his drink before the show, and he decides this is who I'm gonna be. I'm either gonna be this persona, this persona, this persona, or this persona. He decides beforehand, and then he executes. You know, so I think that he just decided like, hey, I'm just gonna give Jed and Nick some shit because why not? It's Thursday, right? Like, why not? Man, yeah, that was tough. It was tough though. The hardest thing for me was that I agreed with what he was saying.
Yeah,
Like
he's not wrong.
100% agree, but like I just never would have had a delivery like that, man. It was just so harsh. Man, it was tough to see like Jed and Nick have to eat that, and the Patties continue to repeat that to him.
Do you think Patty pushing so hard for Miguel and his delivery is what kind of, caused what happened to happen?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing
Yeah.
was nuts. The whole thing, guys, was screwy.
I mean,
something weird was gonna
the
happen.
voting part could have only went one way. I mean, I'll have to draw it out to figure out exactly how the rankings would have worked, but I don't think there was any way that Nick wasn't going to get back in. But like Dot said, I mean, I didn't
Well,
disagree.
if Nick would have voted Miguel,
Would have voted
first,
Miguel.
would have been in.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, they weren't going to let Miguel get back in.
They should have.
But is that because of Patty's pushing?
Eh.
I think
I mean,
a
he
little bit.
didn't. He didn't really. I mean, again, he's not wrong. Jed and Nick don't have the social chops to be able to win this game. I said that in the YouTube comment. I stand by it. I don't think either one of them can win this game. Well, Jed obviously not now. Miguel has the ability to manipulate his way through this game socially. The other two do not. I don't think he really he beat down Nick all that much. He did beat down Jed. Like, I'm still not sure how I feel about that conversation. The whole statistics and mathematics thing they were, trying to know about more than the other. I don't know what that was. Patty likes to give advice, and I'm not sure it's always welcome. And I think those two probably took it a lot like Miguel did. So maybe it did, affect the votes. I stand by Nick is not going to win this game. I'd rather see Miguel in there. But yeah, weird montage.
I agree. Miguel would have been better off on his own. It's the conversation has got out of hand, and it did end up screwing Miguel. I think if he would have been able to stand up for himself, he would have had a better shot at it. I don't know if this is weird to say, but like I feel like it's kind of like a power thing for Patty. I think like he loves to like pot stir. He loves to like have influence and kind of control of the game. Like even like the apology to Miguel. It's like, yeah, he didn't need to. There's no reason game wise to apologize to him. But I think it's just like having his power over Miguel. It's like, I'm telling you that we're okay now, and we're okay now. And if we're not going to be okay again, I'm going to tell you that we're not okay. Just like Jed and Nick is like, I'm going to tell you if I think that y'all are shit now. And I'm going to tell y'all when I think that y'all are bright souls and y'all can make it to the end and you have so much potential. It's like, I think Patty, he's like to have his power over the game. And I mean, he does. He has it.
The afterlife always has power over the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, even before the afterlife, like he's had a lot of influence in this game. And I think he feeds off that.
I mean, my question is, if you're Nick or Jed, how is there a way that you can convince? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there is. You have to have soul, man. You gotta like give.
I mean, neither one of them had a real plan, though. Like, if you think you can win, tell me how you think you can win,
Yeah.
not just I could try.
Well, Nick said he has to get Meg and Anthony out to win. He just didn't have an idea how.
And Patty said You have no chance, bro. It's not gonna
Well, he said
happen.
he had no poll, which is probably true.
Oh my God, Patty hitting him with the reel, man. Golly, the world's cold, man.
Well, with Nick returning to the game, is this another tool for Anthony?
Yeah.
No,
No,
no.
I don't know.
It's
I mean, yeah, a little
At some
bit.
point, yes, but at some point, no.
it's a vote for Anthony to be a power player.
Yeah, but didn't Nick say he wanted at some point to get Anthony thinks that Nick will be like a great ally, but didn't Nick say straight up that he wanted to get Meg and Anthony out?
True.
I mean, don't you think it's safer for Anthony to just have the monkey paw every time? Like, does he really want to have more votes his way and be in the middle?
Yeah, well,
I mean, I feel like the next time he's put up for nominations, he's most likely out of here.
I mean, I'm assuming Nick's going next. Nick is going to be the
Probably.
first one back out of the game.
I
You
have a
think
feeling,
so?
well, it's gonna be what happened with Jed. 100%, most likely, unless Anthony can somehow sway, say, Leanna and Nick to vote with him. Otherwise, I think it'll probably be Nick, but I don't really think he'll be much of a tool with Anthony.
Well, let's say Nick skates his way to the end of the game. Does he win?
Depends on who he's there with.
I mean,
Who can he beat?
that final speech would stress me out.
What if
So,
Anthony wants to take Nick to the end and they're together? Does Anthony lose?
Oh my
Or
God!
bitter?
I hope that
Is he
Anthony
the new-
loses.
is he the new dad?
I fucking hope that he loses. Oh shit! Oh man, I don't know.
I mean, I could see.
Maybe
I could
Diani.
see-
Maybe he could beat Diani. Maybe.
Actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't think he beats Diani. I don't think he beats Leanna. I don't think he beats Meg.
I mean, I don't see him getting there to begin with. So this is like a situation that we probably don't even really quite
Fair
need
enough.
to discuss. Sorry, Nick. No clue what's gonna happen. Hello.
Well, what do you think Nick needs to do coming back into the game?
the camera speak with assertiveness. I had.
But like, does he need to ally with Anthony or does he need to ally with somebody else?
I don't know if he has any information to use in the game really, other than what maybe Anthony tells him. I think what's gonna make or break Nick's game is what Jamil can pull off. Jamil has so much information. The plan of the game plan has to be to, get Leanna, Diani, and Meg to go after each other and get them out of the game. I think Nick's game completely relies on the stuff that Jamil does. And he just maybe makes it to the end on accident. But there's so many bigger players in this game, things that are going to happen because of them, Meg, Diani, Leanna, whatever Anthony pulls off. Sorry. She agrees.
So this is the final six. Only these six could win the game at this point. What do y'all think is going to happen? I will say in the next episode, 2 players will be being eliminated. So
Damn, we're getting there.
how the next round will work is there will be the Monkeys Pod. The Monkeys Pod will nominate 3 people. The power players will vote out one. The Afterlife will vote out the other.
Oh my goodness. There's so many factors that play in this, man. This is just wild. No one's safe. That's one thing. Anybody could be eliminated.
So you said Monkey Paw nominates 3 people. They don't get like some special choice to make.
Not through this round. It just has to be 3.
Just 3 people.
Is Anthony gonna have monkey paw again? How many is
Man,
like four?
if he gets
more
monkey,
times in a row?
Yeah.
if he gets it again, he's almost guaranteeing himself a spot at the end. Is it like a final 2 or final 3, or how's that gonna? Can you tell us that?
That I cannot say.
Of course.
I think it was just his strategy to be the most hated person in the game, would just be at the bottom the entire time. Genius.
I mean, they don't know it now, but the monkey's paw of this next episode, I mean, like I said, almost guarantees you a spot in the end, but they have no way of knowing that.
yeah.
So I've got to assume that it's probably going to be Anthony again.
Mhm.
Anthony probably nominates Meg,
Mhm.
Deani, and Jamil.
Yep.
Um,
I feel like if anything, the Afterlife would probably pick Meg,
mhm.
and I don't think they'd pull Jamil back down. They'd probably pick Meg, especially because Patty is down there, and
Shit.
he'll probably have some sway on that. I don't know who would be the power players then. Would it be Leanna and then Nick? Would Anthony also have that chance?
Who determines the power players this
Yeah.
round?
I believe, I'm trying to remember. I think it's just the players in the game decide both this
Mm.
round.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Nick has the monkey's paw this time. And like, who's it been saying he's gonna try to get out?
Megan.
Megan, is it Deani? Or is it somebody else?
We said Megan Anthony this past round, but Patty.
Nick said Anthony?
That's what he said to
I
Patty.
know, right?
Oh wow. And no friendships in this game. All right. Shoot. I don't know if he'd really put Anthony up though. I don't know, man. It could go anywhere. This episode is gonna be nuts. Another one.
I do think that if Liana is put up for elimination, I don't think I can see her going. I don't think any of the power players would choose her, and I don't think anyone in the Afterlife would either.
You don't
I mean,
think
if
if
Meg's
Meg's
a
a power
power player-
player, she'll push for Leanna?
Yeah, Meg's a power player. She's got to take that chance depending on, I mean, she can't if Leanne is also a power player.
Yeah. Or if
And-
Meg is in the chosen 3 up for elimination, then it doesn't work.
Here's the thing though, is like whenever you make a move like that, is it safe? Like when you make a call to try to eliminate a player like Leanna out, like how bad does it look to the rest of the players and also the Afterlife?
I mean, I will say the player eliminated by the power players does go straight to the Afterlife and votes for the next person eliminated as well.
Right.
So-
and then you start spreading to the Afterlife
But it depends if that
how they
person's
screwed you
nominated.
over and
Mhm.
how they said
Do
that they
the-
wouldn't. I feel like it's tough in all of these games to make big moves like that and not be afraid about how the jury's going to react to it.
Nick knows that there's no more getting out of the Afterlife, right? Like the Afterlife knew this was the only chance to get back out.
Yeah.
So Nick knows that, but do the rest of the players still in the game know that?
I mean, they could probably guess because there wasn't a lot of time left in the game at this point.
Hmm.
I mean, this is the time to make your move. I mean, at least if you're Nick, you know that there's no getting back out. So you have to make your move now. I just don't think he's going to be able to pull it off.
And I just have PTSD. I'm afraid of making big moves now.
That's what the juries will do, huh, Days?
You might get an 8-1 slap in your face.
In there.
Well, any
Yes.
final thoughts? And what kind of jury do you think this will be?
I think it's going to be strictly social. Who is the nicest? I don't think it's going to be who made strategic moves. It hasn't really been that way in isolation, even though folks have made some strategic moves. It's just who likes, one of the people in the end the most. I think that's how the vote goes.
Mhm. Well, again, isolation is more or less a social. Well, it's supposed to act like more of a social game than obviously Survivor. So yeah, I mostly see though like the jury being primarily swayed a lot by Patty. I feel like he definitely has some influence down there. So I feel like a lot of it is going to almost kind of be who Patty, not necessarily who he wants in a way, but people will kind of follow along with him a little bit, at least to some degree. So
Who does he push for?
mm,
Hey, does Patty really
Honestly-
like anybody anymore?
I feel like, well, Anthony, I feel like Anthony kind of earned his respect back, I think, in a way.
Oh my
A
god.
little bit. I think because of
Dot's worried that Anthony.
Oh my god. If
sorry,
if, Pat,
Dot,
if Patty pulls a fucking fan guy for Anthony and he wins again, I'm gonna stop watching this show, bro. I'm done. Like, it's just so
Oh.
bad. It's so
Well, I don't-
bad. That
I-
better not happen. That
Yeah.
should better not happen.
I don't know, maybe.
But no, it's possible because he did gain the respect.
Yeah.
Like Anthony's gained a little bit of respect from some individuals.
No, bro,
And,
you put panties on your head. No, you
No,
can't win
but
the
like-
game strictly because of that.
But check it though. He's like recently gained respect from
Leanna.
Leanna and Patty, like two of like the loudest people in this game. It's kind of important if he makes it to the final. Those are influential people. He's pretty cool with Meg too.
Mhm.
I'm getting worried. It's not that I'm not rooting for Anthony, but I'm
You're
a
not.
little salty.
I'm not convinced
Well,
you're rooting for
something-
Anthony.
I'm a little salty, a little bit. I'll still give him a pat on the back virtually.
I'm excited now. It sounds like the next episode's going to be just a straight clusterfuck.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I wrote that on my notes. I was trying to see if I forgot anything. Can we talk about Patty saying that Jen is a robot? Like,
Oh, and his
what?
room is sterile, and so much that he could lick
He's
the
like, "Yeah,
wall. That's part of the thing that was so awkward. I was like, why do I have to watch this? This is so weird. No, out of nowhere. He just says that he's a robot. And he's like, look at your walls. There's nothing in your background compared to everyone else. You could lick the walls. They're so clean. And it's just like,
Oh my
Why?
gosh. There is like, I don't think of it like maybe like what's his name? DeLeon? Two like best at getting under people's skin I've ever
Brad and
seen.
Dylan, yeah, whatever.
Like
Yep,
they're next level. It's like it's incredible. Patty's a master at it, man. Like he really wanted he wanted to see Jed like jump up a little bit. Like he's the power, man. Patty likes the power. Sheesh, that's crazy. And I'm sorry. I also wrote that he said Nick would get chewed up and spit out. Like, and I wrote, Nick, fight for yourself. Fight for yourself, Nick. Like, and interestingly enough, him not fighting for himself got him back in the game.
True, it did.
Like, this game is nuts, man. Like it really like you can make strategy all day long, but shit. Like, the game's gonna do whatever it wants.
oh.
All any final thoughts?
It's a weird season. I mean,
Yeah.
Patty's in it, so it was going to be weird regardless. But
It is a bit of a clusterfuck.
I'm curious, why did y'all have Meg down? I missed what Meg did wrong this episode.
it was, I think a lot of it had to do with her trying to put the target on Leanna.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a major misstep. Like you can't do that in a chat with Deani and Jamil, two people that are probably going to get those words back to her. And it just, again, it struck me as she was playing survival, where a lot of people are thinking strategically, who can you not beat at the end? And Jamil and Deani are not survival players. They're isolation players. And I don't think it would have gone over well. I don't think they caught on, but I do think it was a misstep for her. So that was kind of the basis of it.
Okay.
Like Dot, I could come to you and say, Dot, look, we can't take this person to the end because they are a massive threat. And you'd be like, you're right. We have to maybe get that person out. I don't think Deani and Jamil have that same mindset as
Okay.
we would as survival players.
Is that they have isolation mindset? Okay,
Right.
I see what you mean.
What do y'all think Meg needs to do?
I mean,
Kind of.
she's been in a great spot like the whole
Mhm.
game. Like she hasn't really made many enemies besides Patty. A little bit. She's kept her cool. She has good alliances. I just think that she's just such a threat to everybody. You just keep hearing her name come up about people who want to get her out of this game, and that's what worries me. But what does she need to do?
I think she needs to lay low a little bit right now. I feel like it sounds like this next episode, a lot of shit's gonna happen. Let it happen to everyone else and kind of sit back. It's like, don't put yourself in the situation where it's gonna happen to you. Let Anthony start some kind of rumor or fight and then have him get back into the middle of all the drama like the last time, and have Liana come after him and things like that. Let that, if you can, let that happen and sit back and go from there. I just don't want her to put herself in the position where she's going to end up in the middle as, the target. Not that I don't want that to happen. I'm thinking that's what she needs to do.
I mean, she has one of the better social games in both isolation and survival. Just utilize that social ability, and like Aaron said, just step back, just be friendly with everybody. Stop trying to get what you want done by forcing the move. I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to think people do want her out because they are seeing her as a threat, but seeing her as a threat strategically instead of socially, and it's gonna bite her in the butt.
What do y'all think?
I agree. Well, I agree with both of you guys. I would say I think that Meg's actually done a pretty excellent job of doing what Aaron said, which is like staying out of drama. There's been a lot of like Leanna, Diani, Anthony drama, a lot of Miguel, Patty drama, and for the most, she spat back at Patty like a little bit, but outside of that, she's been genius for just like sitting in the camera, just watching. So yeah. More of that. I think more people will fight if she can stay out of it. Then she'll be in a good spot.
Who do you guys think she could beat at the end?
Nick.
I think she
That's
could be
awesome.
Nick.
Maybe Diani.
I think she could be. I think she could be Diani.
Jamil?
No, if Jamil or Leanna get to the end, it's over for whoever's sitting next to him.
Leanna, yes. Jamil,
I think she can.
Maybe.
I think she can beat Jamil unless Patty convinces everybody that she shouldn't beat Jamil.
yeah. That's, again, it's Patty.
Yeah,
He can change his mind really
concern.
quick, and all of a sudden it'll be like he's rooting for one person, and then immediately like he switches and he's like, okay, we're not voting for this person. And
I don't know. Apparently, all Meg has to do is put some underwear on her head, and her and Patty are in good graces, and maybe she can win this thing. It's the key.
What do y'all
taking
think
notes.
Diani needs to do? Because she's played this really good game, staying in power, but she doesn't really have a presence.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that might hinder her if she does make it to the end. She's likable, but at the same time, not as likable as Leanna, I don't think. And she has made connections, but not as strong of connections as some of the other people. She's not as talkative in chats.
I mean,
So
reduce the THC dosage by about half, and I think that'd help a little bit.
I had a thought, but I forgot.
Well, lastly, we'll touch upon Leanna. What do y'all think Leanna needs to do?
Be Leanna.
mhm.
She's in a great spot. Call people out when they attempt to throw you under the bus, and just be likable. Like, there's nothing I don't like about her.
You know what? Yeah, she's a natural for this game, honestly.
Mhm.
Like she's kind of just being herself, and it's put her in a great spot. And she could definitely win this thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, just keep being herself. Don't let anybody catch you by surprise. I think she's learning to kind of keep an eye over her shoulders.
Get Meg out. That's what you got to do, Leanna. Meg's coming for you. Don't let it happen.
Mm.
No. I don't know if she can. I don't know if she can do it. It's dangerous. It's dangerous territory.
All right. Well, we shall end it there until next week.
Good luck, everybody.